Improving student performance through the use of feedback. Welcome to Lesson 1. Remember, what we attend to is what we encourage. In this lesson, you will learn about 4 types of feedback and be able to describe the relationship between feedback and positive reinforcement. Acknowledgement, encouragement, recognition, praise, the simple act of saying, "I see what you did there, and it was good." Teachers can use feedback to provide students the information they need to recognize success and repeat it in the future. The purpose and power of feedback is to give someone information about their performance related to a goal or target. We use academic feedback to give students information about how close they are to meeting the standard or objective of an assignment. For example, if the lesson objective was to label and provide 3 examples of figurative language, and a student listed hyperbole, onomatopoeia, and personification, but didn't provide an example of each, how would we provide information about their performance? Pause the video and take a moment to jot down the feedback you would provide to the student upon returning their assignment. There are 4 basic types of feedback. As we identify and describe each one, think about which category best fits your feedback to the student on the figurative language assignment. First, let's talk about positive feedback. Positive feedback can be general or specific. General positive feedback might sound like, "Good job, nice work, well done, yay, yes." General positive feedback contributes to a positive environment and relationship, but is insufficient to change behavior or foster learning. Specific positive feedback might sound like, "Good job using transitions in the body of your essay. Nice work underlining the supporting details. Well done coming up with a solution your group could all support. Yes, you immediately started your bell work." It identifies the successful action and increases the likelihood of future success. We also can look at corrective feedback, and corrective feedback can be specific or it can just be generally negative. So specific corrective feedback might sound like, "Your essay needs to have transitions in the body," or "Please go back and underline the supporting details." Your group needs to come up with a solution everyone can support. Remember, immediately begin your bell work. It identifies the error being made and provides information about how to be successful. General negative feedback might just sound like this: "Far from proficient, incomplete, shh, Susan, no." General negative feedback identifies there is a problem happening, but it is not accompanied by instruction or replacement behavior to help someone fix the error. Let's practice identifying the type of feedback. Pause the video and write down what type of feedback is represented for each of the 6 statements. You'll be able to check yourself when you restart the video. How did you do? Were there any you thought were difficult to categorize? You can access the handouts in the module to give you more examples and information about characteristics of feedback. Look for the handouts labeled Definitions of Behavioral Feedback, Characteristics of Positive Specific Feedback, and Tips for Providing Feedback in Class. Now that you're familiar with the 4 types of feedback, let's talk about positive reinforcement. Reinforcement, by definition, maintains or increases a behavior. The only way to see if an action is reinforcing is to monitor the future occurrences of the behavior. In positive reinforcement, there's an action or behavior, then something is added to the environment, a response to the behavior, and the result is an increase or maintenance of the initial behavior. Let's take a look at these examples. For example, I go outside in the morning and I see my neighbor and I say, "Good morning." If my neighbor adds something to the environment by smiling and saying, "Good morning to you as well," it's likely that next time I see them, I will say good morning to them again because I got a good positive response. If I work with a student and the student correctly works out a math problem and I say, "You got it, excellent example of showing your thinking," it's more likely in the future that the student will show their work as they're working out their math problem. Social media is built on positive reinforcement. Somebody posts a picture of their new haircut on Instagram, followers comment or like the post. The result is they're going to post more on Instagram because they're getting positive reinforcement. The result is the behavior is maintained or increased in the future. So how does this translate to the classroom? Our goal is to encourage the behavior that will support student success academically, socially, emotionally, and behaviorally. We can do that through using verbal praise as positive reinforcement in the classroom. For example, if the student asks a question about the directions for an activity and the teacher says, "Thanks for checking your understanding first," and explains answering the question, it's more likely in the future that the student will clarify their understanding before they begin. Or if the teacher notices that the student is looking at the whiteboard while the teacher's presenting and says, "Wow, you're really engaged in this lesson, great job," it's likely the student will feel recognized for doing the expected behavior and they will increase their attention to lessons in the future. If a group is working together to complete a concept map and the teacher says, "You all collaborated really well together. Nice work," it's likely in the future that if that group is going to work together again, they'll do a good job of collaboration. The result is the behavior that was positive and successful is maintained or increased in the future. Through extensive observation and study in the area of classroom behavior, research has determined the amount and type of feedback most likely to support student success. The goal is to have more positive than corrective feedback overall at a ratio of 4 positive to every 1 corrective or higher, and at least 6 feedback statements to students, whether to the whole group or to individuals, for every 15 minutes of instruction. Here are some more examples of specific positive feedback. "You remembered to stop at your locker on the way. Awesome." "You have your assignment. That's really responsible. Thank you." "Great job getting to work right away." "You raised your hand and waited patiently. Thank you. That was very respectful." "You kept working even though the assignment was challenging. Thank you for showing such great effort." "You were very responsible in returning the note that went home yesterday. Thank you." "I appreciate how you helped your neighbor find their assignment. That was kind." Now it's your turn. At the conclusion of the video, you will access the assignment titled Lesson 1, My Specific Positive Feedback Statements, and record 3 examples of specific positive feedback statements you could use in the classroom. Great job completing Lesson 1!